So only you can hear it.
You can hear it now, can't you?
No, you didn't hit the live
I hit the
button.
live button, dude. Oh, fuck me like a dinosaur. Hold on.
There you go. Now we can hear it.
You see that, boys and girls? You just got
Ladies
that
and gentlemen.
live behind the scenes. This was Scott playing harmonica, right?
No, it's Mike Hank.
Oh, that's right. This song called Free Man, Boys and Girls, in case you didn't know.
Everybody, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna be a free man. I'm gonna fight until the end. I'm gonna find the answer to it. I'm gonna make it all quite clear. In this world today, we all get betrayed, just like a brother man. He's got a brain and spine, yeah. I'm gonna choose the road I take. I'm gonna choose the road to stay. I'm gonna fly with the heavens above. I'm gonna be the chosen one. Yeah. People tell me how to live my life. And fucking preachers tell me about the afterlife. Yeah. I'm gonna make it if I can. I'm gonna be down the road. I'm gonna fly with the eagle above. I'm gonna be the lonesome dad. I'm gonna find the answers here. Every motherfucker gotta disappear again.
Mike Michael's on guitar.
Listen, children, to my mind. I am a victim.
Singing still on stage.
Or sleep to cry. Well, I'm gonna tell you about the afterlife. I'm gonna tell you about what happened last night. I'm gonna tell you about my insanity.
Yeah. See, that's a banner way to start the show right there. Fucking Free Man.
That's what you call rock and roll, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
Free Man, right?
That's
Dude,
the rock and the roll.
I love the solos, and I love the guitar in that song. I love what you did on all the parts.
I actually,
Dude,
that
that's
solo grew on me like a wart, and I'm not sure I could play it just like that anymore. It would take a while.
yeah.
The end
yeah.
of it is the pick on the fretboard going up the scale. That's the only time I ever
Okay.
incorporated that into a solo ever.
Really?
Yeah, still to this day. You and I were sitting in my apartment
Yeah.
when I laid that solo down. It was shortly after you laid your vocal down.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that we talk about music being in the moment, right?
Absolutely.
That was as in the moment as you get, because every time I hear that, I literally laugh on the inside thinking I've never done that before or since.
No shit.
Well, I did it before. That's a lie. I've never done it since.
Yeah. No,
But I love that fucking part of the solo.
Yeah, I love that song, man. I love it. It's a grooving song for sure. And it's fun. It's a fun song. Even though it's kind of lyrically a little bit on the dark side, it's not so much on the dark side though, because it was rebellion without rebelling. Yeah, it wasn't really it was
me at that time.
Yeah, it was individuality, right? I'm a free man. This is what I'm doing. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care, like the preachers tell me how to live my life. You know, fuck you. You're not telling me how to live. I'm my own fucking person, man. I
told you every night, dude. I was like, that was the one song that I was like, that's me, man. That's me right now at this moment in time. That's who I want to be. I want to think for myself.
Yeah.
Fuck what other people think. Why did they get to choose who we are, what we worship, what we eat, blah, blah, blah. Why did they get to choose? Who the fuck are they? And who are you? Who am I?
Yeah, yep.
That's what that song said to me every night. And I'll tell you, man, that music, it sounds deceivingly simple. But when I sat down and broke it down again, there's little nuances in there that, now that I've played it enough times again to get to the point where I played it on stage that way, right?
Yeah.
I have to laugh because I know the way that somebody would play it if they were going to cover it.
Okay.
And then there's slight little nuances in every one of those phrases that change periodically, right?
Okay.
So there's a quarter step bend on the bottom half of the scale on the first one. It doesn't do it on the second one because it would fuck your melody up. Right? The first one matches your melody. You kind of drag the note down a little bit. So I drug it down with you.
Oh, right on, dude.
It's super cool. It's very Alice in Chains.
Oh, right on.
I kind of got that from Jerry Cantrell. Just little slight bends.
Yeah.
In the music make all the difference in the world, but you can't do them all the time, right?
No. You have to. Each song is its own creation. Each song needs to be able to stand on its own legs wherever you're playing it, whenever you're playing it, and whether you're playing it before, or after other songs, or whether it's just a fucking one song you come out and play, like open mic nights. A lot of bands just have one or two songs they can play. I mean, we never did open mic, but the very first band I was ever in, which was Disturbed in the 1900s. And yes, boys and girls, for lack of, if you don't know this, I was the original lead singer for Disturbed. It's a true story, absolutely true story.
Yes, you were.
And the funny thing is Draymond's bald, so he had to incorporate my look to fill the void that I created when I left Disturbed to pursue other things, which eventually led to Nemesis. But so we did open mic, and
one
the weird
dark
thing,
band after another,
right? So we did my open mic story. This is kind of funny. So I had. Some with a friend of mine, he had this weird glass, I don't know how to explain it. Like if you had a hat of glass, like a dome, right? Like that. Okay, like the end of the pen. You know how it's right, the Sharpie,
sure,
or whatever. So just that much up, it was glass. Okay, I don't know why he had this thing. I don't know what the fuck it was for. But me being the fuckhead that I was, I took this glass dome and I stuck it on my head. Okay. And it only went up to right about here where my hat's at. So it cut my forehead, okay? So there's a song I wrote in Disturbed. It was the very first song I ever wrote, in a band. It was called Mary Jane. Ooh, I wonder what that's about.
Catholic schoolgirl.
The chorus was Mary Jane's wait for me, Mary Jane is wait for me. I need a break from reality. I need a break from reality. Mary Jane is waiting for me. Mary Jane is waiting for me. It was about pot, right? Even though I wasn't even really dabbling in pot back then, like legit. I was just pulling on references and shit. So anyway, we're on stage, and Mary Jane was a really kind of fast, kind of Green Day-ish punk song. Ron Harper and Eddie Encinas and Leo Barber were in that band. Talk to Leo every now and then. He's in another continent doing a Cure cover band. Ron works for the Department of Economic Security, and Eddie's a cool dude, but he's a bass player. And that explains it all. So
they're their own breed.
Right. So I put this glass thing on my head that they after in the show. And then during the show, I still had hair. I had pretty long hair, kind of like, down to my cheek, the lower cheekbone type thing. And so I'm fucking headbanging. We only had 3 songs. This was like the second song of the set. And it was, being a stupid punk ass kid, because I was probably like, 20 at the time. And unbeknownst to me, my forehead's bleeding because of the cut that happened earlier. So I'm sitting there banging around, and I'm thinking it's sweat. So I'm doing you saw what I used to do on Nemesis. I would go like this with my sweat, and I'd wipe it on the back of my shirt or, my jeans. And so I'm doing my thing and fucking just keep doing this and, rubbing. I was wearing shorts, I think, and a white T-shirt. The whole grunge thing was there, so I had the Doc Martens and the tube socks and the cutoff shorts and the this lazy ass pullover like flannel thing, and I remember drawing a hanger in the white T-shirt, for the whole, just so I'm fucking bleeding, man. And so
bleeding, man.
So after the set, the 3 songs, everybody's like, wow, the crowd's like fucking going nuts, and we're just like, fuck yeah. And then I look over at Ron, his face just goes, fuck, dude. And I'm like, what? It's like, dude, you're bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I do this, and like, shit you not. And then I'm like, holy shit. And it ended up being like, i.e., WWF, WWE. How would they cut their foreheads in wrestling matches, right? They would slice it with a little bit of a razor blade. They would put a little super glue on the incision. So then when they're in the match wrestling, and somebody's going to elbow their head, when they elbow their head, they actually just scrape the super glue off, and then the blood starts pouring. So,
wait, hold on.
Okay.
Are you trying to say on a Tuesday evening on the Chris and Mike podcast,
right?
Are you really trying to insinuate that wrestling is not real?
No, wrestling is 100% real.
Oh, phew, shit, fuck.
But
my world. Next thing he was going to say was Santa Claus is fake.
But
trying to ruin my day, ladies and gentlemen.
In true showmanship and entertainment, shock and awe value, you know how many times it would take to strike someone's forehead to cause it to bleed? To the point of, example, Chive TV is on. Chive TV is on when I work out, right? The stupid fucking Chive TV. There's these fucking dumbass people that are headbutting a watermelon.
There was a hint of sarcasm in that statement.
I know there was. Headbutting a watermelon. The watermelon's on the counter. This dude just keeps going down trying to fucking break the watermelon with his head. After about 20 hits with his head, he just kind of backs up and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing's wrong with his forehead. So obviously, you need a little help from your friends and,
See, I never knew that's how they did it. I just knew that there was showmanship involved, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Dusty Rhodes. If you look at his forehead, because he was always a bleeder, if you look at his forehead, man, there's just fucking lines and lines and lines of scar tissue from and I saw somewhere somehow and somewhere in my lifetime, I watched something and that was alluded to that this is how they did that. They would just razor blade because it's very fine, just grab the skin and razor blade it, super glue, clean it up, dab a little makeup on it, a little makeup, little rouge.
And that's why I know you're the same way. But for the folks at home, ladies and gentlemen listening, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's why it's hard for me to watch like reality television, wrestling, just things like that. You've seen behind the scenes enough that it's like, how they make that shit work, right? Not that I've dabbled going through the channels like the fucking Real Housewives shit, right?
Right.
Some of that stuff is real, and some of it is the producer says, hey, she's going to make a comment about your husband, and then you're going to freak out, right? Yep. Like probably more than normal.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Yep.
Right.
Mike Michaels, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Michaels right there. No, we're going to take that further. I was in this thing years ago.
Lay it on me.
It was called the Millionaire Mastermind. So it was a real estate related kind of concept. They were going to make a show called the Millionaire Mastermind. So it's a bunch of $1 million producers, which that doesn't mean I made $1 million in a year. It means I sold $1 million worth of real estate. So for lack of better explanation for those that understand how this works, if you sell a $500,000 house, you get credited with $250,000 in production, at least back then. So in order to do $1 million worth of inventory, you had to sell 5 $500,000 houses. So mathematically it's $2 million, but you only actually got credit for one half of that, which is $250,000. So 8 $500,000 houses equals $1 million production. So $1 million producer.
Okay.
So on this show, it was Millionaire Mindset. So it was a bunch of realtors. They were trying to make it kind of like I don't watch a lot of that stuff, but I think kind of like Survivor, and you had these little things you had to do, and you had to
Also fake.
Yeah, totally fake. So I get to the final 10 or something, final 12, whatever it was. And we're at some restaurant in Scottsdale or something, and this dude, I'm not going to mention his name. He ended up being a really cool guy. He was just a little pussy whipped and was kind of like a little bitch because he had absolutely no self-esteem and no self-worth or value. But we kind of reconnected with Wake Up Warrior. That's how I reconnected with him and realized, okay. And he kind of apologized for being a prick. But what it was is the producers actually came to us in wherever we were at and like, okay, this is how it's going to go down. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to react. And you're going to react this way, you're going to react that way. And you're going to push his buttons to the point that it
See, I don't
pisses
make
him
these
off.
things up.
No, it's legit, dude. So
I like it when you have a real life example of how this shit works, though, because I think some people think I'm talking shit sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I've seen it.
Yeah, no, Mike is not talking shit. Mike cannot be more accurate when it comes to this than he thinks he is. And it's out of
keep going. I'm not interrupting you.
No, I know you are. I know. No, it's just out of sheer coincidence that I actually participated in something that was like that, and the back end of it was just that.
Where were they recording this at?
It was somewhere in Scottsdale. It was different parts of the valley, Scottsdale, Phoenix-ish. I don't truly remember where we're at. I think it was downtown Scottsdale.
But it was around the Scottsdale area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of bar restaurant. We went in and
I didn't know if they flew you off to Hollywood.
No.
Okay.
No, the intention of what they were doing was grander than it ever evolved into. It was like they wanted to have this massive thing, a reality TV show.
Like Scottsdale, Beverly Hills, Aspen.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just done locally. And a couple of people that I've known since then, I don't know them, but I know who they are. And then when we cross paths, say, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? It's one of those things.
Right.
But it's not like I'm going to pick up the phone and call them and, hey, dude, want to go eat some pizza and shoot some pool? Okay. So you're in the restaurant and they're filming B-roll, and then they basically want to see how
Explain to
reacts.
people what B-roll is. You can't
B-roll,
just throw shit like that
okay,
out there.
I'm sorry. So B-roll is like when you're watching TV, you're watching your favorite TV show, and then transition from one talking scene to another talking scene, and you may just glaze over the exterior of a building, and all of a sudden you're in the scene. So like football games, if you watch any football at all, when they're coming to or from break, typically they'll have aerial shots of like the stadium and nobody's talking. That's B-roll. Yep. So it's just you're welcome. So it's kind of just stuck in the back corner, and you have the B-roll there for when you need it and then to fill in the gaps and whatnot. So they want this dude. I know his name, but I don't want to say his name. So we're just going to call him the dude. So this dude was supposed to pick at me, and I'm supposed to react. So me being me, I reacted like a motherfucker, to the point that I was fuming.
Which takes a lot for Chris, by the way.
They were pretending, but the buttons they pushed weren't cool buttons to push. So I reacted to it, and then I later stepped away from it because I realized they were going to step into the backgrounds of our lives and shit. And at the time I had a family member going through chaos, and I'm like, I'm out. I don't need that coming to the forefront. I don't need that shit coming up. I don't need that causing that person to go back down into that rabbit hole. This is not worth it. I don't need to be on fucking TV for this stupid shit. I watched, it never made TV, but I watched the progression of it through, I don't know how, because social media wasn't really big back then. Like they did some kind of fitness part of it where you had to do all these fitness challenges, and everybody was just falling over. I wasn't in the shape I am in now by any way, shape, and form. So I
just out of my own curiosity, what year was this?
I don't remember. I really don't
like
remember.
Roughly.
It had to be at least. This is 25. It had to be at least 15 years ago. Maybe,
Okay.
well, no, because I got into real estate. No, 15 years ago would be what, 2010?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to say somewhere around there. 10, 8, well, yeah, okay, so the chaos, that's how I can date it. Okay, that's how I can date it, actually. 10, yeah, maybe 14 years ago. Maybe that's right, 14, 15 years ago. That's probably right, because that's probably when that started.
Yeah, and that's
On
right
some-
about
on
the
some-
time I moved
yeah.
home. So
Yeah,
yeah,
on
I
some level.
that just puts it in perspective where
Yeah.
like social media was, where
Yeah,
video was.
yeah.
It wasn't as prevalent as it was today by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
because
not at all.
the internet wasn't that fast, right? So
No,
okay.
that was, yeah, and it just wasn't, yeah, it wasn't something I was willing to do because of the sacrifice that would have had to have been made on my soul to increase their rate, because their ratings.
So give me an
are-
example
yeah.
of what they were.
They were going to step in to our backgrounds. They were going to open the door to our background.
Okay.
And because of what was going on with one
Like
of
super personal shit.
yes, and for what was going on with one of our family members at the time, I wasn't comfortable allowing that to happen, so I stepped away from it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Now, if they were just going to attack my demons, I probably would have been like, fuck it, who cares? Because I'm transparent about that anyway.
Sure, me too.
But I didn't want to jeopardize that relationship, that recovery, that journey. So I didn't. I'm like, I'm out. They don't know that. They don't know that that's the reason I stepped away.
Yeah, when it's somebody else that's being affected, like you're saying, that's not, I agree with you. And that's what kind of character you have and what kind of man you are to say, you can attack me, but I'm not willing to put my family through something for my benefit.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Yeah.
That's not fair to them. They didn't ask for that.
No. And like I said, they don't. I don't think my family knows why I walked away from that. I just probably simply said, it just wasn't for me, because I don't do shit for me per se. Like when I did the radio, I didn't go into the radio show. And for those of you who don't know, I had a show on iHeartRadio.
Fuck, my whole life is for me, buddy. I feel like a piece of shit.
No, but I see what you're saying. It's not. It's
being funny.
No, the approach of it wasn't. The approach of it was never. Oh, look at me! I'm on the radio. The approach was
you've never.
Right.
So
that's the thing. Yeah.
To toot your own horn, because
Yes.
Chris doesn't like to do that, so I'll do it for him. Just like I totally appreciate your comments at the beginning of the show about my music, because you know that means more to me than anything. So
yeah.
Chris never got on stage and went, I'm the fucking front man. Here's the way things are going to be. You guys are going to fall in line, and the show's going to go like this, and I'm going to say this, and you're going to do that. And if you don't fucking do it, shit's going to hit that never. We were like, gave each other a hug before we went on stage and went, let's fucking rock. There was no agenda.
No, there's never, and that's,
And I love that about you. You never had what we used to call
lead singer
LSD.
disease.
Yeah, lead singer
I know.
disease.
I learned that from you. I think Scott said it as
He
a
did.
joke.
He was like, "Thank God we got somebody that's not an LSD." And Chris
And I
went,
was like, "What the fuck is that, man? I don't drop acid."
we all started laughing. Scott's like,
Yeah.
"No, lead singer's disease, dude."
But it's true though, and that's
You
I
had
think
none
why,
of that.
No, and I think that's why when I got the opportunity to be on iHeartRadio, when I sat down with the producer and the station manager, and I made the comment, I think we've talked about this before, that hey, if my head ever gets too big to walk through that door, just kick my ass, man. I'm a small little dude in a massive pond, and I'm gracious enough to be given this opportunity for a year, so let's go. And they just kind of looked at each other like, who the fuck is this guy?
And that's what made the band so good, man, because everybody in Nemesis had that same attitude.
Yeah.
We were just so thankful that we had the opportunity. And just like this podcast, man, Chris and I were talking about it as we were getting ready to come on the air. we're just thankful that
fucking shit
people
up.
like it and like to listen to it. And I didn't mean to do the thumbs up again, but it's very apropos at the moment.
I was hoping I'd be able to do it since I was in control of the thing now. It's not working.
Mine is because of my computer. It does it through the camera.
Oh, I got you.
But back to the band. That was the attitude. Was there was no egos because we were all just so dumbfounded that people liked what we were doing.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you
the
write
innocence.
it.
Yeah.
You don't know what people are going to think of it, and then you get on stage and they go fucking crazy. It's like, whoa, hey, yeah, we thought it was good too.
Yeah. No,
Right.
no, absolutely. Because you don't know. You don't like. You think you're writing something. I'll take it even a step further. You think if you're a creative individual, you think you're creating something that is going to be accepted by the masses, and
Yes.
and
You are egotistical enough to think that you have to be.
you have to be.
Yes.
You have to be. You have to, as musicians and actors and writers, thespians, the ones that are on stage.
Because it would be silly
have
to put this in to put it into perspective for the people who are not creative and they're not artists.
Right.
Here's where we're coming from, like in our minds.
Yeah.
It would be super silly for you to sit there and go, well, you know, maybe people are gonna like it. You know,
Right.
I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to go. Fuck it. This is the best piece of music I've ever written.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about it because if that's not the emotion that you're conveying on stage, people fucking eat you alive.
Yeah.
The audience will just swallow you whole. Right?
100%, man. And that comes along with anything you create. If you don't stand behind it and own it, then what the fuck are you doing? I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're like, okay, here's a prime example of owning your shit and knowing your craft, right? So we built a house for my daughter, little man trip, and her soon-to-be husband February 1st. So it's attached to our house. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It was really just earmarked for Sky and little man, and then life changed, and so now the 4 of them in there. Well, it attached to the outside of our house, and so her wall is attached to an exterior wall, which was frame wood stucco insulated, and then her wall is frame wood stucco insulated with spray foam. So pretty decent sound barrier, but we didn't, and this is a funny story. Nikki, when we took the kitchen cabinets out of this house and put them in the addition, Nikki was like, we really need to soft close those things. I'm like, we don't need to soft close that shit. Skylar's hard on furniture and cabinets, and she's like, they've had 3 broken drawers. You know what I mean? Like they just live hard. Skylar lives hard. I don't know why. So, but you can hear the littlest one, the 18-month-old, when he gets up, and like he'll be up at 11 o'clock at fucking night, and he just likes to open and shut the cabinet doors.
So you guys share a common wall.
We do, but it's a normal wall of a house and a normal wall of a house. So you're talking probably 3 feet, okay, of our wall, insulation, the whole stucco process, and then their wall spray foam, because I had spray foam insulation sprayed down into it.
Which is the best you can get right now.
Right. But you can still hear that. Right? Fucking 11 o'clock at night. Trips open in the cabinets. So I'm like, I need to get this wall insulated better. I need to build another wall, right, inside our bedroom wall. So I actually had one guy that said $1,800, 2 days. You buy materials. I'm like, fuck off. Guy in our neighborhood dropped, I'm going to start, I've worked for the man forever. Now I'm starting my own GC company. He came out and wanted $4,700.
Oh my God.
To frame an 8 feet by 15 foot long wall. I'm like, you're high. This young kid came out $1,500.
What are you trying to say?
He's not high in your way. He's high in just like $4,700 for that.
I just got super paranoid right there.
Right? This young kid's doing it for $1,500. He came no, you're good. He got here this morning at 8 o'clock. He left at 2. He completely framed out the wall. He put in all the insulation. He moved all the outlets because we're centering everything that needed to be moved in 6 hours.
Damn.
He had to go to the store twice because he told me to get 1 roll of insulation, so I did. but we actually needed 4 rolls of insulation because I got
Of
R30.
course.
Not fucking R5, not fucking R10, motherfuckers. I went on the Google machine. What is the highest rated insulation you can get? So I had shit
I
you
would
not
have
right
done
now.
the same thing.
Right now, it's like sticking out of the 2x4 like 2 inches because it's that. So once he puts the drywall up, that's just going to go into the wall, right? This fuckhead in the neighborhood wanted almost $5,000 to do this. This kid's going to do it for $1,500. I had to spend $300 on material, which I told both. I'm like, I got.
That's
the
a
wood.
good
I
deal.
Yeah, fucking
Right
is a good
now,
deal.
that's a smoking deal.
And
Materials are
and-
expensive.
I was not really. I got 8 sheets of drywall. I got 22
it come
by
down?
4s. It has 8 sheets of drywall, 22 by 4s, and a roll of R30 insulation, $340. And you got to add 50
That's
to
not
that
horrible.
because
No.
I had Home Depot. Not only did they deliver it, but I had to pay them to actually, because Home Depot will just drop it in your driveway unless you pay
Right.
more. So 50
How much
of that,
more?
It's 50 total to have it, 25 delivery and 25 to have it delivered where you want.
Oh, that's not horrible.
So I was actually under $300 for materials.
Not bad at all.
Nope. And then he had to get a couple electrical boxes and shit. So I gave him $200, but I gave him $190 today for extra material. So without the delivery fee, I'm just about $500 in materials.
So now what happens if you hear the cabinet door close after this?
I'm gonna have to fucking get little buttons.
I gotta know. Fucking curiosity's killing me.
I'm gonna have to get these little buttons on the door to make sure they're quiet.
It takes approximately 45 seconds to close every fucking cabinet inside that house.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad, but he doesn't. See, I'm like, get him on a schedule, Sky. Like, he doesn't need to be up. Well, he doesn't sleep he'll sleep at 3 o'clock and wake up at 5. I'm like, that's your fault, man. Have him a miserable 24 hours, and then he's on a schedule,
Right.
But, yeah. So we'll see, but legit. And then, so now Nikki, it's a trip how Nikki is ahead of the time. So when we moved in here, when we remodeled our house, because we bought it and we tore it apart, she likes this blue, this certain color of blue. Well, now that blue, white, and the countertops we chose, nobody was doing it 3 years ago. Now it's fucking everywhere. Like we went to model homes last weekend, and I did 8 videos filming because part of what I do, I market and shit. Every model home we went into had the same countertops that we have, the same blue paint somewhere in the house. It's a trip. So, and the
So you're
wainscoting.
saying if I wait long enough, my hunter green carpeting is going to come back around?
Fucking A, brother.
Just leave it.
So she has this idea of
Not going to happen, people. Not
No,
going to happen.
you know what wainscoting is, where you have like a wall and then you have pieces of trim.
Yeah, didn't we have that shit in that house on fucking...
Oh, yeah.
in that one living room? Wasn't
Yeah.
that around?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
real
yeah.
minor version of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
it
that's
had
the
crown
thing,
molding
yeah.
too.
Yeah, so that's the thing again. So we're gonna do that as well, and it will. And then so
Those
we're
in the
push-
know,
we're push-
Chris, say wainscoting. Wainscoting.
Wainscoting.
Wainscoting.
See,
I
don't know
say
if it's
wainscoting, too.
Wainscot or wainscot. Yeah, one of those things. So we're losing
Pretentious
4
people
inches.
say wainscoting.
Wainscot. It's wainscoting, you fuckers. Step off. So, I can pull all kinds of accents out, man. So, but one that we end up losing 4 inches of our bedroom, but it's 4 inches of fuck you insulation.
It's
and
4 inches of peace of mind.
Hopefully. Then there's the other, in my head, it's kind of like I always have to have music playing, 4 or 5 times a week, for the intimate moments, because I don't need noises carrying over, if you get my drift.
I can't even imagine what you're talking about.
No. Noises of satisfaction.
It's been so fucking...
Let's talk about the Rolling Stones.
Yes, music during those times is very apropos.
Yes.
That's twice
Very
in one
apropos.
podcast. I got that word in there.
Apropos.
Yes.
Good job, Mike Michaels. Apropos.
I need to
So
start
that's what we're
sneaking in the big words.
Are you reading dictionaries?
No, I pretty well read. I read a lot of books.
You know what's surprising? You'll like this. So I have been listening to my the Puppet Master book, my audio, right?
Yes, I have it in my next up list.
Right on. So my biggest issue, the biggest thing that triggers me is driving, right? Because you used to be able to just kind of sit back and drive, right?
That's the only time that I really have a fucking temper anymore.
Okay. Thank you. Me too. But I have noticed, okay, aside from stupid people, like there was this asshole this morning, like it's a merging lane, okay? Like it's no lie. I'm in the left lane. He's in the right lane. It's merging into one. I have the right of way. Okay. I'm in the left, okay? I'm slightly ahead of him. He's got a big dually. He's an old dude, because I could tell he was an old fucking, crotchety dude. And so
get off my lawn.
Right, but he purposely moves up. He keeps going. He doesn't slow down. So, and I have two choices. I go into oncoming traffic and get killed. I turn into him and kill him, or I have to basically just kind of hit the brakes without squealing the tires.
That's what drives me nuts.
Thank you.
Why do I have to be the one to be constantly fucking paying attention all the time to have to stay alive, right? That's what comes out of my mouth when that scenario happens to me too. I'm like, if I had not been paying attention, I'd be fucking dead. And potentially so would you.
Yeah, right. Don't be the reason I don't come home, motherfucker. Right?
Yes.
That's my mindset. So because I had this come to an abrupt slowdown, I wasn't flying. The light has just changed to green, and we were all, it was 2 lanes going into one. So it's not like we were flying down the road. It was 15, 20 miles an hour, but it's the point. So I have to slow down. So I give him the salutes, because, we salute people on the road. And you can see him because he has no tint. So you see him looking there, look up mirror, side mirror, up mirror, side mirror. And so I'm like, you fucking asshole. Like, what are you doing? So then the dick that he is, because now we're one lane, he'll just slow down a little bit, and then he'll speed up, and then he'll slow down, then he'll speed up. So we get to the point, 2 miles later, where I'm going right. And so I go by him because there's a turn lane, and he starts clapping. Like, fuck you, dude.
Fucking
so I roll my window down, and I give him the Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Like, seriously? You're clapping. You almost caused an accident because your inability to pay attention, because you're probably 90 years old driving.
That's how stupid people are.
Right. That I don't like. I will get out of the way. In merging lanes, if I'm in the left lane, I'm in the right. I'm the furthest one over. I'm in the lane that everybody's merging to. If I'm in the right lane, when I get on the freeway and I'm getting off the freeway, I will hit my blinker. I will maneuver myself behind a car that's trying to get on the freeway, so he knows, just switch places with me. And that works flawlessly.
Okay, because you opened this Pandora's box, I'm going to give you I'll give you one adorable fucking story, and then I'll give you one that, what would you do? Okay, so I go to Wendy's the other night, right?
Okay.
And
Wendy's
I'm in
the
the
restaurant or Wendy's the girl? The redhead?
I don't even know what a girl is anymore. Is that elusive fish in the sea?
Yes, it is.
So I'm in the drive-thru, right?
Okay.
I order my food.
Yep.
I pull around. There's somebody in front of me. They're getting their food.
Yeah.
Guy behind me's in a truck, like your size.
Okay.
It's fucking 8 o'clock at night in the winter in Illinois. It's dark, right? Pitch black.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their lights on. Mm-hmm. What do you do when you pull around and you see a car in front of you at a fucking drive-thru and you're all waiting for like 5 minutes?
Oh. So
you're responsible. You're the one that I'm asking the question to. You're in the truck. I'm in the car. It's nighttime. We're waiting in the drive-thru.
Oh, I turn my lights off.
Thank you.
Fucking turn them off. I'll
Motherfucker blinded me for 5 fucking minutes.
That sucks, man. That sucks.
I was like, you have no idea how lucky you are that I don't know how big you are, for one. And then, let's start there, because, everybody knows me. I don't go picking fights. But I would have smacked this motherfucker's neck if he would have said one word. Okay. My second since we went down the driving story, is the people who don't drive the speed limit when they're on the interstate, a highway,
Yep.
and then as soon as they get into town, they want to drive like a bat out of hell.
Right?
Twice in 2 weeks, I've encountered this. Where you want to speed through fucking town, but you can't drive the speed limit when you're obviously they're afraid to drive on the highway, right?
Well, that and or they are on their phone on the highway and they realize the chick they're going to see or the guy they're going to see. Now they know where they live, so once they get off the freeway, they're fucking speeding up to get to the hookup moment on time. Because to me, because freeways in Arizona, you have 5-6 lanes now, right? So stay out of the fucking HOV lane.
Yeah, we don't have 5 or 6 lanes. We're lucky to have 2.
Yeah, so stay out of the HOV lane, Arizona drivers, if you're going less than 65 miles an hour, because nobody wants to fucking have to sit behind you. Okay, you want to go 65 miles an hour, you go to the lane that's all the way over here. It's the lane that comes onto the freeway, the one next to that. That's where you stay. Your slow ass stays there. HOV lane is for the people that are going 90, because that's what happens now. It's 90. I can go 78 miles an hour and I'm getting passed like I'm standing fucking still. It's insane.
Yeah, so once you cross 1 mile into Michigan, if you're not doing 80 or 85, you will get killed.
You'll get killed. Okay? So it's not just Arizona.
No.
So the whole what was the fucking reason for this? Where were we going? We were going somewhere.
Oh, that was a long time ago, dude. We squirreled that away to. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even mad that we lost our train of thought at this point. It's funny you bring that up because I just thought about that 15 seconds ago. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's our show. That's why we do this.
So, this is why we do it. So we can do it.
I like squirreling down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Sometimes we find our way back.
Yeah, so we got to touch base on we got to touch on this. So I got the AMGM betting app from you, right? And as you'll notice, they didn't give a $100 bonus this past weekend of football, nor did Steele, nor did I, because no matter what avenue I tried to add money to the thing, it wouldn't take it. B of A said fuck off. My Capital One said fuck off. It wouldn't take my PayPal. It wouldn't take Venmo. So finally I was like, what the fuck, man? So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just not supposed to gamble. It's the weirdest thing, man. Every avenue I tried, it said no. I don't know if it's an Arizona thing. I've never done it.
Sports betting is legal in Arizona, is it not?
As far as I know.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, is sports betting legal in Arizona? Yeah, in-person and online sports betting is legal in Arizona.
I don't know, dude. It was not letting me, no matter what I tried. It was just basically, saying,
I'll send you another one for this weekend. Yeah. I also have DraftKings and FanDuel. And no, ladies and gentlemen, I do not have a problem because I will go back to my statement from the earlier podcast that you may or may not have listened to. I have never lost a dollar of my own money gambling on sports.
Not that we condone gambling. And if you need help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, I condone gambling. Just don't gamble all your fucking money away. And we
don't want to condone gambling because our attorneys have told us that behind the scenes that you cannot condone anything that could be considered illegal or addictive. So we don't condone the use of marijuana, cigarettes, alcohol, or gambling. And
marijuana's not addictive.
Some people think it is, Mike. And
it's never been proven to be addictive, so we could never be convicted of saying that.
This is true. Maybe it's the brownies, because the brownies you just want to keep eating them, and then all of a sudden you're 500 pounds, and then Mike said it was okay. Marijuana wasn't addictive, so I put it in a brownie, and now I'm 500 pounds and I can't get up.
No, the same people that would get addicted to marijuana would get addicted to eating brownies if they found them first. They would get addicted to eating fucking paint chips if they found that first.
Right. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
It's so not addictive that if you have an addictive personality and you find marijuana first, you will be addicted to marijuana.
This is true.
The difference is, my point of the statement is that person is going to be addicted to whatever they find first. They're going to be 400 pounds if they find ice cream first, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they found marijuana first.
Right.
You and I, we can take it, leave it. It's not going to affect our life one way or the other if we have it or don't have it.
No, and I will say that for those that are just joining us for the very first time, welcome. This is the Chris and Mike Show. Marijuana has done wonders with pain management. Mike can attest to that. I can attest to that when I had my issue with my neck and my grinding vertebrae and shit. The only reason I survived was because of a medical brand marijuana called Purple Kush, because I couldn't take any painkillers because I'm an alcoholic. So legit, that probably kept me sane and from killing many people for those 6 months prior to surgery. So,
and for the folks at home, CBD, which is not psychoactive and does not get you high on any level, is a better anti-inflammatory than ibuprofen, Advil, or any kind of painkiller. Painkiller isn't an anti-inflammatory anyway. It just masks the pain, and it's highly addictive.
Right.
As I can attest to, because that was the first thing I was ever addicted to was pain medicine. And it was prescribed by a doctor from a car accident. And if you do your research, CBD, which is extracted from the hemp plant, is one of the best anti-inflammatories there is out there. Yeah. And THC does have some anti-inflammatory properties to it. I usually get a hybrid of the both, right? So there's so much CBD in it, there's so much THC in it, and the combination works.
Okay.
And just like you go to a doctor, it's not, once again, just like I always say, smoking marijuana isn't what you think it is if you've never done it, right? It actually enhances reality. You don't escape reality on marijuana. So people who say, oh, he's on the pot, or he found that fucker's high. Well, he must have been a dumb fuck before you met him, because it actually enhances reality. That's why people get paranoid. So the folks at home, if you've never done it, that's the reason people get paranoid, because you get high, and especially if you're sitting there on the couch by yourself and you don't know how to handle it, you're going to have thoughts that you didn't even know were fucking there instantly.
Right.
And they're going to be all the shit that you pushed to the back of your mind that you didn't want to deal with. That's what comes to the forefront. The reason I don't get paranoid is because I deal with that shit on a minute-by-minute basis, because that's just who I am as a person. It's a curse, right? So
it is a curse. It's not a curse. It's a blessing, because that kind of you open up that can of worms right there. If you deal with your shit, then your life is that much better.
Yes.
Just deal with your shit. Like I put a thing up on my Facebook the other day. Okay. Sorry.
Let me finish that thought real quick.
Yes, finish. My bad.
People think that you're going to the dispensary, and Chris can attest to this, and there's a bunch of fucking potheads standing around, and they're like wearing tie-dye t-shirts, and you know, it's a real seedy kind of, the lights all dim, and this is what people think. It's more like walking into a medical establishment, like a doctor's office or a pharmacy, and the people there are not, I mean, the old folks might call them potheads, but they are actually trained at what they do. Because if you ask them, hey, my neck's fucked up, I have 2 crushed discs in my neck, which impinges a nerve, and it causes my arm to go numb, and it causes me pain, and right away they're like, hey, here's what you need.
Right.
You need so much
agreed.
THC, you need CBD, you need these edibles. You know, this is all stuff that's going to help you.
Right.
They're not trying, they're going to sell what they have there anyway. They're not trying to push drugs on you like, you know. I just want people at home to understand there's a reason we made this legal, because it has medicinal purposes, right?
It does. Jesus got high. Moses got high.
All
the disciples got high. Look, read the Bible, man.
Everybody back then got high.
Do you really believe Jesus walked on water, or was that 11 people fucking stoned out of their mind on acid, tripping and drinking the wine? He turned water into wine. You know, come on.
The acacia bush grows all over in that area of the world, and it is rich in dimethyltryptamine, which is the most psychoactive substance on earth. So if you make the leaves of that bush into a tea, or you ate the leaves, you would think that Moses fucking came down with some tablets and said some shit.
Yeah, part of the Red Sea, and fucking, I'm walking on water. Because I've tried to walk on water. It's not possible.
Here's a book for you to put in your queue after you're done with the next one. And here's one for the folks at home. John Marco Allegro, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
That's the name of the book?
Yes.
The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross?
Yes.
Where?
John Marco Allegro was an actual... He went to seminary. He was a preacher.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, through a lot, just like myself, through a lot of thought and research and just sheer determination of nothing made sense from the word fucking go, you realize that, the history that you've been taught is so far from the truth. It just has to be.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers can't remember what happened a year ago. And now we want to say 1,000 years later they wrote. It's the same thing as people that have accepted Mormonism, right? They didn't look into the fact that a 13-year-old boy made that story up, right?
Right.
And he was a convicted con man before he made the story up. These are all facts. I hate to burst anybody's bubble. It just is.
No. Yeah.
And he's the only one that could read these fucking golden tablets because he had the seer stone. And this kid was 14.
Yeah.
13, 14, whatever
13,
it was.
14,
He was a teenager.
Right.
And a convicted con man in the time.
Right.
It would be the same thing if you were in the time when they wrote the New Testament 1,000 years after this happened.
Yeah.
The New Testament was not written while Jesus was walking the earth and he lived, died, was buried, he rose again. Nobody was sitting there writing it down. This was commissioned 1,000 years later to keep people in line because they were straying into paganism, right?
Exactly.
All your...
It's true. And those of you that don't think that's true, it is. It's true.
Unfortunately, it is for the people that really, if they're devout and they have faith, and I have no problem with that.
No, not at all.
I'm just telling you from where I'm coming from, nothing made sense from the word go, so I had to do a lot of my own research, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to worship this guy that lives in the clouds, and I've never seen him, and he's going to come back, and his dad's up there, and, it's like, it was a real head scratcher for me as a kid. For real.
Yeah.
Everybody else believed it, so I was like, well, I guess I believe it too. But I really don't.
Right, and that's that. But that's how. But that's the influence of parents. That's the influence of upbringing and family. Because I know people.
Sure.
I know people that just. I mean, and nothing super nice.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that
not at all.
anybody
Not at all.
did anything wrong. I'm just saying this is me, Mike, as a human being.
Yeah.
Just one human being on the planet Earth out of 8 billion.
Yeah.
This is what it meant to me. Nobody did anything wrong.
No, and the only reason why I say it is because some people will just, if they just join this and they'll hear this, no, we're not, and you know what is? We're not doing that. Everybody has the right to their own belief and their own path in life. We don't judge that. We don't care. Whatever makes you happy makes you happy. There's people that need that. There's people that need to go to church every Sunday. There's people that need to be told how to pray and when to pray and what to pray about. There's people that need to give their tithing to church because they need to have that belief that if they give the church 10% of whatever they make, they're going to get into heaven. Because Ozzy said it best. The God I believe in isn't, Bono said it best. The God I believe in isn't short of cash. Okay. Ozzy said that, all these motherfuckers think that you listen to Ozzy Osbourne, you're sure in fact going to go to hell. Really? He's an entertainer, boys and girls. I got news for you. Ozzy Osbourne does not worship the devil. He is not the Prince of Darkness except for a role he plays when he steps on the stage.
That was a title he was given. That's not one that he proclaimed, right?
No, and he owns it though, because why the fuck not?
I'm just saying,
right.
There's very few people in life that get away with giving themselves either a nickname, or a title, right? Ozzy did not. No, he did not give himself. He didn't say, "I'm Prince of Darkness."
No, there was a funny bit. I don't remember what it was.
He's too
years
cool
and
for
years,
that.
years and years ago, I saw it that he was standing in the Coliseum, right, where a show was coming up, and Sharon was next to him, and Sharon was explaining all the theatrics that are going to go on during the show and the props and shit, and all of a sudden, a bubble machine lights, you know, and the light show's going on, and there's these bubbles coming out. And these are fucking bubbles. And she's like, yes, Ozzy, those are bubbles that come out during. Well, some fucking Prince of Darkness, fucking bubbles. Fucking bubbles. And he walks away, like walks out of the scene, you know, the frame of, it wasn't a scene, but walks out of frame because he's like, I'm the fucking Prince of Darkness. You got fucking bubbles coming on this stage. War pigs.
What is this?
Generals gathered in their masses. Bubbles.
Bubbles. That is hilarious.
But that goes back to it. He was an entertainer. That's like all the shit in the 80s, like when, you know,
The satanic panic.
Yeah, it was all just theater, man. It's all showmanship. It's all entertainment. You're like Getty. You ever watch the Rush documentary? I forget what it was.
Yeah,
but actually, go ahead.
I'll tell you real quick.
Okay.
Everybody. There's old Steele there telling me the Illini are on at 6. So if you want to watch the Illini college basketball game, ladies and gentlemen, and you're watching live, it's on at 6 o'clock.
That's me shooting free throws.
So they said that every
Okay,
sticker that they put on one of those cassette tapes back when you and I were teenagers that had a parental advisory on it increased sales 30%.
Fucking A.
It
Why?
might have been
Because
more than that.
kids,
You can.
you know why?
It
Because
might have
it's
actually
what-
been more than that.
Well, that's like telling a kid don't play with matches. What's he gonna fucking do?
Play with matches, especially if you're a
It's
American steak eating fucking born and bred want to go fuck women, real American men, right?
it's
If
the
you tell those
curiosity
boys
factor.
don't do it, they're gonna do it.
Exactly. So all Tipper Gore did was increase the sales revenue of all the artists attached to those labels, which wouldn't be surprising if the Gore family had some kind of behind the scenes
I wouldn't be surprised.
investment in the record industry because
You know what? I've never had that thought ever until right now. That's fucking
just right
genius.
now it just kind of
You just blew the top off my head.
I don't know how we would find that out, but that would be legit to find out if Tipper and Al Gore had investments in the music industry in the 80s.
So that would not surprise me because we know that while Nancy Reagan was doing the DARE program and
She was snorting
trying to
cocaine in the back room of Ozzy's stage show.
No, but her husband was selling cocaine on the streets of Los Angeles to the tune of about $6 million a month.
Choo-choo, get the yayo.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Also, true story, released through the Freedom of Information Act and official United States documents, not just shit I'm spewing out of my mouth.
We don't spew shit.
Well, I do
Spew
sometimes.
shit.
Sometimes you
Speaking
just want to,
speaking of shit spewing, so Skylar's getting married in 2 weeks.
Yay. That's awesome.
Had to get the porta potties. Okay, porta potties. Got to have the portable restrooms outside because we have septic. You're not coming to my house and using my toilet because I got septic. Okay, I don't need my septic overflowing because 100 people. There's a fucking 100 people coming. Like we're 71.
And that'll do it.
Adults and 19 kids were like, what the fuck? Seriously? So I call 3 companies. Now, understand, I had porta potties for Nikki's birthday party, and it cost me $250, delivery, setup, everything. Okay. One company, I made a video about this. United Rentals. Yes, United Rentals. Boys and girls, just in case you didn't hear that, United Rentals. United Rentals. The company called
Can go
United
fuck themselves.
Wanted $894 for 2 portable restrooms and a hand washing station for 1 single day.
How come you didn't call the place that you had for Nikki's birthday?
Because I couldn't remember who it was.
Oh.
Didn't choose United Rentals.
Did you pay him in cash?
I did not. No, I didn't think about that, man. And I know where you're going with that, and I fucking. But I ended up. It's a good. It's in the story. It's an ending. It's a good story, but it's a good result.
Okay.
It's a good. Well, whatever the fuck. What I'm trying to say. So United Rentals.
Happy ending.
Happy ending. There you go. United Rentals, don't use them. $894 for 2 porta potties and a hand washing station for 1 day. Waste Rentals, a small mom and pop company. The guy was trying to sell me. I'm a small business, and I'm like, motherfucker, so am I, man. So am I. He's like, well, if you can come find me the invoice for $250, I'll match that. Okay, wait a minute. So you're telling me it's $175 per each porta potty, $175 for the hand washing station, plus delivery and setup and the removal fee. But if I can find you an invoice for $250, you're going to match that. Okay, what does that tell you? Right there, that he's inflating the cost to line his pockets. Fine, you run a small business. But if I walk into a listing appointment and say, I know everybody else is going to charge you X amount, I'm going to charge you X amount times this, times that, because, I could come down as long as you get it in writing from the other people you've talked to, and then I'll match that. No, it doesn't work that way. Like I led with, I need this, this, and this for a wedding. I can't remember who I used last time, but only charged me $250. Right off the bat, he overinflates his cost. And I'll come down to $420. But if you can get me the invoice, I'll drop the $250. Okay, fuck you. Next. The other one was, I don't want to get it wrong. It was United Rentals sucks ass $894. Waste. Oh, the ones I chose was where's my phone? It's on my phone. The ones I chose was $360, which I believe was the ones I chose before. I don't know why the cost was different this time, because essentially I got the same thing that I did last time. Where'd it go? There it is. So Canyon State Waste was $380 for 2 porta potties and a hand washing station. Waste Rentals, who they have the tagline, Arizona's #1 choice for porta potty rentals. No, he went from fuck you money. Oh, I'll match that if you have proof. And then United Rentals, Work United, wanted almost $900. So
that's ridiculous.
There's your help. There's your party planning advice. So I tell everybody, don't settle on one thing. Get 3 quotes.
Oh yeah,
the wall,
with everything.
The wall, I got 3 quotes. When I do garage cabinets, I get 3 quotes. Even though they're all the fucking same, they use same product, same material, same labor, everything. You still get 3 quotes. When you do roofers, you do painter. It doesn't matter what it is. You get 3 quotes. When you audition a singer, you audition 3, right? I just was the best one out of the bunch, so you just had no choice.
No, you were the only one.
Oh, that's true. It's because I cut everybody else off in traffic. I'm like, fuck you. You can't come to this.
We had to audition. So for the fucking painless part that it was finding you,
right. It
was equally not as painless finding a fucking bass player.
That's true. I remember the bass player. We told the story before.
You can't talk over that. You gotta let it go.
Really?
Yeah, nobody's gonna hear us talk.
Damn.
That's why I said you're killing me.
Oh, I thought it was a background noise, man. I'm sorry.
It is, but that's all they like. Then they hear that and you trying to talk at the same time. And you got people like me that are 50% deaf from standing in front of Marshall Stacks, and then I try and listen to it, and then I can't hear you.
I got you.
You can do it. You just can't talk over it.
Okay. So I could just do this. Thank you. This is Chris Dunham and Mike Michael.
Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get all kinds of constructive criticism. You got to kind of make a good point, and all I hear is clapping in the background.
You can say that, I'm going to have to reel it back in.
I just want to hear what you're saying. That's all I'm saying. You're dropping knowledge.
Don't give Chris the power, man. Just slow him down.
Well, that's what they're going to tell you. A fucking guest on the podcast sometimes.
We could hear everything like when you were. Now you have conversation and stuffing buttons. Can you really listen to a 4-minute song of the intro? Yes, you do.
I do.
It's a great song.
I do. That was not a problem. We didn't talk about it.
We didn't really talk. No, we didn't really.
That was for us.
That was good. That was good. That was good to start. So when we wrap up the show, I could essentially do that, right? I could just be like, oh, I'm going to play a song. right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's pretty cool. Well, let's do that. Let's wrap this shit up so you can go get some food. It's 5 o'clock my time, which means it's what, 7 o'clock your time?
6.
6?
5:52. Yeah, we're only an hour different right now.
Shut the front door. Really?
Fall back, spring ahead.
I don't know what that means, man. My clock's
Yeah,
never
so you
changed.
guys don't do that.
I don't do anything except my wife.
I don't want to hear about your problems. I mean, that's great. It is great that you're dedicated and that you don't cheat and that
Right.
because there's so actually I meet more guys that have multiple women than I meet guys that are faithful to the one that they by a landslide. It's not even close.
You know what's cool? I went on an appointment.
We're
today
fucking scumbags.
Okay. I went on an appointment today for some people that referred to me by their kids, adult kids. 60 years this couple has been together.
Oh,
They
yeah,
lived
my
in the
mom and dad are closing in on 50.
Lived in the same house
Next year.
since 1973, raised 5 kids in it. It's amazing.
They've been in there since 81.
That's
Three?
crazy, man.
83.
That's crazy. So, somberly, boys and girls, addiction sucks. We had somebody that I knew from high school was found unresponsive January 8th. After 2 weeks of not hearing from them, the parents called for a wellness check. So, the small world that it is, her daughter knew my daughter at a dark period in life. And she, the one I'm referring to that passed away, she struggled for 30 years with addiction, which sucked. So I knew she had alcohol problems and stuff. And I would chat with her every now and then because she'd reach out, But it just sucks that and I just talked to her about something at the end of December. She had some kind of chaos going on in a closet, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize her daughter was incarcerated for drug-related stuff, so I thought her daughter was still out and created chaos, and I was like, oh my gosh, what had happened, and blah, 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 and she's like, no, it wasn't that, it just fell off the wall. I'm like, fucking fix it, man. But yeah, so there's no answer as to why she passed yet. So I'm not speculating whether it was drugs or alcohol or just, after 30 years of struggling, she just fell asleep and never woke up. But it's still sad because she was my age, which is your age.
That's horribly sad.
That's just, it's too young. So,
well, to me, that tells me it sucks even worse because very few people our age just started recently doing drugs, right? So that means that she battled with it for years.
Yeah. 30 years. No, yeah, 30 years. Because the people that I know, the people that knew her that know me in that circle, because again, that's high school, and I still have quite a bit of communication with a lot of people from high school. So the one that dropped it, I was like, holy shit, seriously? I just, So she kind of enlightened me on a couple things as far as, when and how, and then somebody else had chimed in when they saw it, and I knew she was recovering and she was struggling and stuff. I thought she was in a good space, but obviously I was wrong, and you can't tell. So that's another thing. If you have people that you think are in a good space, they may not be in a good space, and they just know how to hide it, regardless of your experience and with addiction and struggling, whether it's firsthand or second account. You can never tell really where someone's headspace is, because what's the one thing that you can agree to that are alcoholics and addicts? They are the world's best what?
Liars.
They are fantastic. They're the Italian Christopher Walken character in A True Romance with Dennis Hopper. Liars.
And they've thought of and Chris will attest to this.
Yep.
You play every scenario that everybody's going to throw at you in your head 24 hours a day. And you have an answer for everything that is thrown at you constantly. The best thing that you said in that statement was almost always from the outside looking in, you're never going to know when it gets to the point that you just described where it's the bitter end.
No.
I just had this conversation, I don't know, probably a week ago where, it was somebody was concerned about something that to me didn't mean anything, but it meant the world to them. And I said, that's where we're different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about what you care about, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. I get misconstrued a lot that I don't give a fuck about anything. And for the most part, I really don't.
Right.
But I do care about my family, my friends, my music. I do care about a lot of things, but I let a lot of things go through my recovery because I started thinking I should have been dead so many times that people have no idea. I've told stories about the few times that, I surely should have been dead.
Yeah.
But there's countless other times that I think back on it and I'm like, I can't believe that I fucking made it through that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now how much do I really care about X, Y, or Z? Whatever comes up on a daily basis, right? I can let a lot of shit just roll off my back because I'm happy to be alive. That's the moral of the story is I don't sweat it, sit and dwell on things because to me that's all a waste of time. I was gifted with however many minutes I've lived past addiction.
Sure.
Those are all a gift.
Oh, yeah.
Because we shouldn't technically, especially what I put my body through.
Yeah,
you know what you put your body through. There's countless people who have died from that level of addiction, right? We've known some of them. We've heard about others. It's like, it's not lost on me that there's times that I sit and think, why me? Why was I special? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Because there's days where you think, I'm not really adding anything.
Yeah.
But if you sit and think about it, you are. Because, you would be sad I wasn't here. My mom would be sad I wasn't here. People don't think about those things until you're on the flip side of it.
Right. And I don't think there's any allusion to her taking her own life. I just I like to think that she just fell asleep and that was it. That just the hard life caught up to her. It's still sad though because she does have a daughter. She does have a grandson. I think it's a girl or boy. Just one of those things that's just like really. So just be mindful of that. If you see somebody that's an addict, try to look through their soul, because even though they look okay, they may not be okay. So just be mindful of that. Don't let the bad days win. And again, I'm not even making reference that it was self-inflicted. Death.
Nor was I. I guess I was more alluding to what you were saying in that just the volume of days. I had enough volume of days in that I could have easily ended up like her, right? Because it wasn't like you and I weren't weekend warriors. It was we're all or nothing kind of people, just like the podcast. So I didn't just buy some cheap shit and fucking say we're going to do a podcast. We bought studio level equipment because that's just who we are. We started off maybe a little smaller than this, but
a little cheesy,
quick,
a little cheesy.
Sure. So quickly you realize, okay, this is not Chris and Mike. We've played on the biggest stages. We've done X, Y, Z, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We took it to the pinnacle. We're going to do the same thing with everything we do, and that includes addiction.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? That's my point.
Yeah. You don't half-ass anything. When you're tunnel vision on something, man, if you have that tunnel vision personality, and that,
I want to meet Manuel Noriega. I don't want to just hear about him, right?
Exactly.
I'm going to need to know this dude.
Exactly. All right. So, there you go. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Maybe we'll open up a new country. I'm gonna leave us with "Listen to Your Sin." So I'm just gonna walk away and leave my microphone here by itself. And
I'll just sit and listen then because I love this song.
There you go. So, boys and girls, we love you. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace.
Quickly, we're gonna fly and disappear. Look the tablet, go insane. Feel the juice flow through your veins. On your journey, take it slow. Fight the battle that you must win. Fight the battle that you must win. Who listens, baby, to your singing? Yeah. Listen to your singing. Now you're turning, come down in. You haven't found solid till you're saying. You keep on fighting, wait for the day when you close your eyes and it fades away. You ain't no preacher, but a praying man. You took your breath on the Almighty's hand. You got a dream, who in your life to keep on soaring every night. Take the trip behind your eyes. Feel the soul revolution now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Take a moment, listen to your sin. Fight the battle that you must win. You gotta fly. Don't
Stick a fork in this, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike Michaels, Chris Dunham. That was
I already played it once.
That was "Listen to Your Sin" by
Yeah, that was fun.
by the band Nemesis. One of the first songs I think we wrote together as a band.
We'll talk about that next time. That's got some cool music to it, too.
We will. See you later, everybody.
All right. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Peace.